It looks like the Riot devs are planning on making some big changes to Valorant's economy through its weapon prices. This could reshape the course of episode 3, so let's talk about these new leaks. What's going on, ProGuides family? It's your host Sergeant Frost, and today we have some pretty substantial weapon price leaks to talk about. Let's not waste any more time and let's hop right into the news. So, Riot warned us earlier in May that they would skip a patch cycle in order to work on the game in depth, and they wanted to introduce some pretty substantial changes to ranked, Valorant's agents, and the in-game mechanics. This morning, we got leaks that listed significant price changes for several guns in Valorant. While we don't know if these price changes will be coming in the next patch, it's rumored by the leaker @ValorLeaks on Twitter that these changes will be coming in sometime in episode 3. We must state that these are only leaks, and that these prices are still subject to be changed before they are listed in an official patch. Now, let's list each of these guns' price changes and what it will do for each gun in the Valorant economy. Alright, first off, let's start with the elephant in the room of the price changes, the Operator. The Operator is supposed to be getting a price decrease from 5,000 credits to 4,700. Earlier last year, the Operator caught a lot of flack for being overpowered in the hands of highly mobile agents such as Jett, Reyna, Raze, and Omen. After several months of holding out and refusing to nerf it, Riot finally caved and not only nerfed the Operator's price, but they hit it pretty hard in the gun stats department too. A lot of people claim that the Operator is a much weaker version of the AWP from CSGO, and that it doesn't really need nerfs, it actually needs buffs to make it more comparable to its distant cousin. Well, the Operator nerfs lasted for several months, and now Riot is starting to ease up off its pressure on the Operator a little bit by decreasing its price. But it's not really going back to its original price that it was on launch, which was 4,500 credits. So what do you guys think about these Operator price changes? I think 4,700 is a nice sweet spot that puts it closer to the AWP from CSGO, and it makes it so that dying with this gun won't completely shatter your economy for the next 2 rounds. In my opinion, since Valorant has an economy credits cap of 9,000, putting the Operator's price at 5,000 was way too steep for what it offered as a weapon. CSGO, for example, has an economy money cap of 16,000, which is almost double Valorant's economy cap. Not only did increasing the price make it less attainable, but hitting it in the gun stats department made this gun a terrible economical purchasing game unless you were either on defense or playing Jett. I really like these price changes, and I hope that the Operator gets buffed more to make it more of a fair and appealing gun. Let's see what other changes might be coming for this gun in episode 3. The Judge is arguably the second biggest price change on this list of leaks. The Judge is getting a price increase from 1,600 to 1,850. While this isn't too big of a price hike because it's only 250 credits, Riot is trying to prevent this gun from being the default half-buy weapon for any player that can't buy a rifle and heavy armor. If you watch pro play in the last month, you know that this gun has become a problem ever since the Bucky nerfs earlier in episode 2. The Judge is an OP meme gun because it's honestly become the easiest multi-kill weapon in the game. And that's saying a lot considering that the Odin and the AWP still exist in game. Shotguns have also been synonymous with jump shooting recently, and that is because players are starting to figure out how to abuse the randomness of the mechanic. This causes a lot of players to jump and shoot around corners, because it's honestly better than wide swinging when you have a semi-automatic weapon. Despite these nerfs, I still think that the Judge is going to be very popular since the Bucky is no longer the chief shotgun. But this price nerf Riot gave it is only to prevent it from being bought on every save round, and it might make it no longer as viable of a purchase. The Frenzy's price is getting a decrease from 500 credits to 450, and I think that's fair for this gun. If you played earlier in episode 2, you knew that the Frenzy was a menace to society. That's because when it was 400 credits, you were able to buy the Frenzy and light armor, and you effectively became a walking tank with an automatic gun on pistol and save rounds. If you combine that with how powerful this gun was with running and gunning, the Frenzy quickly became a problem in a short period of time. Riot only took 50 credits off the price because they will never make it 400 again so that players won't be able to buy light armor with it, but a 50 credits price decrease might allow you to potentially buy it on save rounds when you're penny pinching with credits, or if you have some combos with Frenzy and utility on pistol rounds. The Stinger is getting a price decrease from 1,100 to 950. I don't know about you guys, but before the Stinger was nerfed, it was an overbearing gun to deal with, whether you had full armor or not. It quickly got nerfed both in its gun stats and its price tag, and it honestly disappeared from the game's meta for a while because of that. But with its death rose a new and even more annoying gun in the meta, and that is running and gunning Spectres. I think Riot wants people to ease up off the Spectre as a crutch in game, so they are reducing the Stinger's price to get more people to buy it again. Its gun stats are still nerfed, so it's a much weaker version of itself, and it's also not much more powerful than the Spectre, but it's weak enough that Riot isn't afraid to significantly lower its price to entice players to forget about the Spectre and start using it again. The Bucky is getting a price decrease from 900 credits to 850. There isn't too much to this price decrease because it's only a 50 credit difference. The Bucky got hit hard when Riot almost obliterated this gun when it nerfed its right-click damage. This also prompted a lot more players to pick up the Judge and its replacement, and that is almost as big of a problem as the Bucky once was at the height of its reign. I think that they are decreasing the price enough where it won't be bought on pistol rounds, but they're decreasing it just enough to get people's attention to buy it on save rounds. This should make it an alternative option instead of picking up the Judge, Marshal, or Stinger. Realistically, this price change isn't going to have much impact on this gun's usability. The Bulldog is getting a price decrease from 2,100 to 2,050 credits. In my opinion, the Bulldog is the forgotten gun of Valorant, and Riot doesn't want to buff it too much to prevent it from becoming a powerful eco-friendly rifle. This decrease in price is only 50 credits, and it only really serves a purpose to remind us that it still exists and it wants to be used, honestly. Otherwise, the gun as a whole still has issues that make it a suboptimal pick for many situations. The Guardian is once again getting yet another price decrease from 2,400 to 2,250 credits. I honestly don't know how low Riot is willing to go with this gun's price, but it seems like they are really trying to get us to buy this thing with this buff. I believe that the Guardian struggles more in the gun stats department more than the price and economy department. However, this might mean that this gun will be more usable in situations other than in full buy situations, but it's still going to be considerably weaker in full buy scenarios. The Marshal is getting a price decrease from 1,000 to 950 credits. I don't know why Riot has an obsession with 50 credits for this weapon retuning, but I think it's really funny at this point. The Marshal is still fine as it is for a low economy sniper. The price decrease is nice and it's just another reason to use it more on save rounds. Wrapping up the weapon price changes, the Aras is getting a price decrease from 1,600 to 1,550. Just like the Bulldog, I think the Aras is one of those forgotten guns in Valorant. And that's mostly because the Judge and Spectre are in the same price range, and they offer a lot more than this gun ever could. Since the price decrease is only 50 credits, it serves the same purpose as the Bucky and Bulldog's price changes, and that is to remind us that it still exists and it wants to be used. Well, these price changes are looking very interesting and promising to Valorant's economy. I can't wait to see when they get implemented and how they will impact gameplay. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you hit that bell notification to ensure you stay ahead of the competition with the latest Valorant news, updates, and guides. If you want further help, feel free to check out our website ProGuides.com for the very best on-demand coaching. This has been your host, Sergeant Frost, with the news update, and I will see you all in the next one.